Hey, this is Brett the Hitman Hart, and you're listening to the Smacked Raw podcast.
What? Okay, well, has this always been a thing? Where have I been?
What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Smacked Raw podcast, AEW recap edition. We are your hosts, Kyle Tyson, and of course, Kevin Crazy. Kev, man, it's been a couple weeks.
Yeah, it has.
Yeah,
I'm glad to be back to be able to mark out at the most shitty wrestling promotion out there.
Oh man, yeah, my bad. By the way, I've had just weird scheduling.
You know,
conflicts.
don't worry about it. I just fucking hate you now. It's okay.
It's okay.
I'm just kidding.
All that crap I give you about not doing pay-per-views, and I've been struggling to get able to record on Wednesday nights for like a month now.
It is what it is. Shit happens, man.
You guys, if you're new to the show, this is a wrestling recap show. We stream live on twitch.tv/putting you over. You usually can catch us Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays there covering Raw, Dynamite, and SmackDown. Whereas Putting You Over normally airs on Tuesdays and Thursdays. Unfortunately, there's been kind of like a family emergency with Streamer. So he's allowed us to go ahead and stream here on Thursday night. If you ever want to catch an NXT recap, the talented Katie Bebe and RN cover NXT on twitch.tv/SmackRaw podcast. Please make sure to check them out. Katie's been killing her solo recaps, man. Pretty soon she's going to realize she don't need us and she's just going to take off. She's going to take off.
Good for her.
I don't need co-hosts. I don't need any of this. She's like, Kyle taught me everything and now I'm out.
You know what? Good for her if she does that. And Katie, thank you for the recognition in the chat, by the way. But yeah, she should know her goddamn worth. She should do stuff that she wants to because she is talented and she's great at what she does.
She's the one getting invited, all the invites to guest spot on other shows now. Katie's blowing up, man.
She is.
If you guys ever miss a live stream, you can always catch us on youtube.com/SmackDraw Podcasts. Please hit that like, subscribe, and notification bell. It helps us out greatly. And then if you are also interested in helping other people out in the wrestling biz, go to WrestlingNewsWorld.com. Make them your source of all your wrestling news. They have great thought pieces and articles. Fantastic guys over there. They let us be the exclusive recap show for their website. They're awesome. And we couldn't be happy.
They are.
Yeah, more happy to support them. Kev, so haven't seen you in a while, man. What have you been up to? You got a new laptop, I see?
Yeah, man. That's dope. It's been really fun with this new laptop. I've been, messing around with that, playing some Cyberpunk the way God intended it to be played, not on a stock PlayStation 4. Totally different game.
Does it actually feel like a video game now?
Yeah, it's a lot better. Like there's no way else to say it. Other than that, chilling with the fam, hanging with my kid. He says crazy shit all the time. It's really funny, So
yeah, man. I've been building patio furniture. That's what
I know.
Patio furniture. Goddamn, 1 a.m. Hey, it did let me catch that Broken Skull sessions with Randy Orton. That was
nice.
Not that I thought it was going to be bad. I just wasn't sure how into a podcast with Randy Orton I would be into because I kind of like the man's mystique. But once I was like, who cares? Can't check it out. It was good. He had a lot of praise to say about Christian, and I was happy that the network allowed them to keep it in.
That's cool.
The show, yeah. WWE's made a couple chill moves lately. I'll give them that. Inducting, who'd they just induct into the Hall of Fame?
Well, there was Kane,
the
Great Khali. I heard. I don't remember.
I feel like they did something that was like, obviously there's no hard feelings. I don't know. Oh, maybe it was that Vince called up Big Show after he showed up on Dynamite and was like, yo, I'm super happy for you or something.
Yeah. That sounds right. Sounds right. Yeah. Like the first classy move Vince has made probably in his whole career.
Maybe he's softening up in his old age of like 75 or however old he is.
Yeah, his icy heart is finally starting to melt just a touch.
It's thawing finally.
Yeah.
Anyways, let's talk about last night's Dynamite. I had the privilege of watching it tonight just before we went on air. You've had a day to settle on it. What's your overall thoughts on the show?
I think that this felt like more of a transitional episode into what we're going to get next week. And I don't think that that's necessarily a bad thing, but it wasn't the most exciting Dynamite that I've seen in a minute. Although the main event was fucking awesome. Like that match was so good. Yeah. But the rest of it was kind of a mixed bag. You know, some of it I was like, oh, that's cool. But some of it, Tay Conti versus Nyla Rose was cool. I like that. But yeah, I mean, those are the only two things that I was like, yo, that's good. The rest of it was kind of just like, get it, but like,
yeah,
let's get to the main course, you know?
Well, it's always tough, you know, being the following the week. You know, you have a pay-per-view, you have the weekly show following the pay-per-view. Usually the weekly show after that, you don't want anything too major because because all your big moments were for the pay-per-view and then the follow-up show. But
absolutely
there was some good stuff in here. I was really intrigued with how they would transition Britt Baker's character from that crazy match she had where everybody fell in love with her. Because I remember saying, I was like, yo, how are they going to be able to boo Britt Baker after this? And little did I know that Britt Baker is just one of the best overall talents in AEW.
Oh my God.
She made it super easy to boo her again. Yeah, man. Her promo, the promo she gave was fantastic.
Holy shit. I was screaming at the top of my lungs for that goddamn promo. Especially, I mean, come on. I'm a mark for Mick Foley. Like, for me, it's like Steve Austin and Mick Foley are like 1A, 1B for me, you know, favorite of all time. So anytime those two dudes get mentioned for any reason, I'm like, fuck yeah. And then the way she mentioned them, I was like, Jesus Christ, Britt Baker.
Yeah. We had an awesome show out for Ty Conti as well, man. You can tell AEW is making strides to shake this facade that they don't care about their women's division. Now, granted, I'm not saying that they obviously don't have the best track record, but you can tell they're making a conscious effort at this point to build their women's division, have multiple stories going simultaneously. You know, and Tay Conti picking up that surprise win against Nyla Rose was awesome.
Yeah. No, and I feel like their women's division is markedly better than it was even probably a couple months ago. I think the title picture right now is super, super exciting. There's a bunch of wild card shit that could happen. You know, it's just it's cool. You know, they're doing a good job with it now. Finally,
yeah, they're trying to build it up. I've been saying this lately is we are firmly at the point with AEW where they really do need a second television show, broadcast TV show. Is I know they're trying to build up Dark and now Dark Elevation, but listen, if it ain't on network TV, the majority of your audience isn't going to take it seriously, you know. And that was one of the lowlights for me for this week is to hear that Scorpio Sky, you know, his next match is on Dark Elevation against Mike Seidel. And I was like, damn, man, you guys just, I get
it's a dope match.
No, it's a dope match. And like I said, the AEW, I believe, is suffering from their bloated roster. They went ahead, they scooped up a ton of people. They have an incredibly stacked roster. Obviously, 2 hours a week on national television is just not going to give everybody enough time. I mean, hell, that's the whole backbone of Lance Archer. The man's got no time. He doesn't have TV time. But at least he's smart about it. He ain't talking about matchups on Dynamite. His whole thing is I will get TV time. And that's what you need to want in AEW. You need to want that TV time. Because you can push Dark and all of your hardcore fans can love Dark all they want, but it's never gonna pull the viewership. It's
not gonna translate.
No.
Yeah, you're right. You need to be on network television or cable, even if it was just an hour long. You know what I'm saying? Like an hour long, do some what they're trying to do with like Dark Elevation. Just have some of the talent that they're trying to build, have 4 or 5 matches a week. Boom.
Maybe move your TNT title over there or something,
Yeah, that would work too. Holy shit.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Speaking of which, that TNT title scene, I'm not really sure how I feel about it anymore. I'll get into it.
It is kind of strange.
Yeah.
I agree.
All right, so we'll go ahead and go through the show now. The opening match where we had Matt Sydal taking on Kenny Omega. It was a decent match. I think, Matt Sydal, they hyped him up as he's got a really good run going on in his singles victories. Similar to Scorpio Sky, but when they're all on Dark and you're not seeing him on, like I said, TV, it's hard to take him seriously, and especially it's hard to believe that he'll beat Kenny Omega. Now, Sydal got this opportunity when he built Nakazawa on Dark, and Kenny beat him down. Afterwards, Tony Khan cut that hilarious promo. 9 days in 9 days. He's
such a fucking nerd, Tony Khan.
Tony Khan, God bless his soul, man. Less is more for Tony. Less is more for Tony Khan. I'll just say
I'll tell you what. I have been watching Impact lately, and those stupid ads that he does with Tony Schiavone and shit on there.
They're the highlight.
They are fire. I would recommend you check them out, man, because they are funny as hell.
Now the match, although like I said, at no point could I convince myself that Sydal was going to win. I will say that they had a lot of cool little near falls, especially when Sydal reversed the one-winged angel into a victory roll up. That was very close to a 3 count. Of course, though, at the end, Kenny Omega actually did get the one-winged angel, so Sydal does not have the upcoming championship match, which, I mean, like I said, guys shouldn't.
Yeah.
Anyways. It's not a big deal.
Was not surprised. But yeah, the highlight of the match was that reversal that Sydal did for sure. That was really fucking cool.
It was decent.
Yeah.
It also made me think about, like, while I was watching them, that Kenny Omega has got the perfect like hybrid build. Because Sydal really is a true cruiserweight, with his strikes. And I'm like, just that little extra, like, I don't know, like 20, 30, 40 pounds that Kenny has adds to, like, his striking looks more believable because he's got that extra weight. He's the perfect hybrid, and it was just one of those things when you get to see him, like, compared to a cruiserweight, because Kenny Omega does kind of get called, like, a smaller guy. But no, when you put him in there with a smaller guy, you can tell, like, the dude's in that, like, butter zone where he's not a heavyweight, but he's definitely not like a cruiserweight.
Yeah, exactly. But he's like as athletic as a cruiserweight, though, and I think that's why a lot of people put him in that category. Because to your point, looking at a match like that with Matt Sydal, like, he can keep up with him with the high flying stuff just as much as the striking. It was just cool to see that. I think that's exactly the most important thing to get out of the match was that no, Kenny's totally legit, even with dudes that can do the same stuff that he can do.
He's blessed with like the perfect body size, I think.
Yep.
For his style. Following that up, we had a very quick match: Hangman Page against Cesar Bononi. Dude, Bononi's look does not do it for me. Like his name, his look. I don't know. He's got that viral video that went on that match he did with Luchasaurus, I think, where he got lost mid spot and Luchasaurus literally had to tell him run the ropes.
Oh, I guess I'm not.
Oh yeah, no. There was a clip that went around Twitter the other week. Yeah, where
That's awful.
where him and Luchasaurus were they both I think like hit the ropes or something, but you could tell in the spot it appears Benoni forgot
No
what
idea
to
what he
do.
was doing.
No idea what to do. So they kind of circle up, and it's amazing that AEW didn't cut it out because it wasn't live. But yeah,
Right.
Luchasaurus literally had to tell him like, go run the ropes, and then he does, and they pick up, man.
That's awful.
Yeah. Benoni
Funny, though.
does have the size advantage over Hangman Page, but anytime that he did get offense on Hangman, he gave him way too much time to recover. You're not going to do that with the future star of AEW. So Hangman easily picked up the win with a buckshot lariat. It was an okay match.
One of the fucking dopest buckshot lariats I've ever seen, though, man. He hit that motherfucker clean.
My favorite is still the one from the Stadium Stampede where he did it off of Kenny Omega's back.
Yeah. No, yeah, you're right.
That's
You're
still
right.
my favorite one, man.
I just haven't seen one that just was like it was a textbook buckshot lariat. Like it just looked really technically sound last night. You know, it was just really dope.
Yeah. No, he nailed the hell out of him with that. We get that aforementioned Lance Archer promo. Like I said, it's kind of pre-taped. He's hanging out what looks like into the warehouse where Sting and Darby Allin had their fight. Essentially, he just pays respect to Sting, but just says, you had your time, it's my time. The classic trope there. We've seen this coming now. How are you feeling about a Lance Archer feud with Sting, especially one where Lance Archer is not ready to build himself as a heel? He's still very much face territory.
Not into it at all. To be honest with you, like all I really want Sting to do is just to like kind of be Darby Allin's like mentor sidekick, if that makes sense. Like, I'm totally cool with him like lurking in the shadows and showing up like if Allin needs some backup and shit like that. And maybe cutting promos with him if it's appropriate, but like I don't want to see him in the ring anymore, man.
No.
But he's nice to have that little spice on there, though.
Like I said with Tony Khan, less is more. I love Sting. It doesn't come from a place of like hate, but like, Sting doesn't have anything to offer weekly television every
Not
week.
really.
He does not have anything to add to the product, in my opinion. The fact that we're supposed to believe that he's an adequate foe for people that are near the top of the card. Remember, Lance Archer was fighting for the TNT title. You mean to
not
tell
that
me,
long ago.
Yeah, you mean to tell me that Sting in his 60s is supposed to be able to hang with Lance Archer, and I get it's pro wrestling, and I get we're supposed to suspend our disbelief. You can't fake being an old man in the ring. I'm sorry, you can't fake that.
Well, like I said, I don't want to see him in the ring, but I'm okay with him being kind of like the spice for Darby Allin, though. Like that's cool.
Yeah, no, I'm here with that, and I don't necessarily know how I would book it, but like I really feel like at this point. I don't know, man, just not weekly. Like, I don't know if it would be like leading up to a pay-per-view or we catch glimpses of him backstage talking with younger guys, building them up, people going to him for advice. But the fact that he's coming ringside with a baseball bat, and we're meant to believe that he's a threat to the entire Dark Order. Like these young guys couldn't swarm and absolutely destroy this guy with the snap of their finger because he's one man with a baseball bat. Like, no, man. Like, I hear you. I didn't have that big of a problem with it, but I mean, you're not wrong. Yeah,
but I hear you. I could see maybe another cinematic match or two out of him if he wanted to do that. But you're right, like pay-per-views.
From one program to another, though, comes straight out of the warehouse match, and then straight into another program is just too much. It's personally speaking, it's my low light of AEW is just how much Sting we get. Like that's really all it comes down to.
I don't know if it's that bad for me, but geez, man,
It
does kind of feel like to me this is one of those signings that AEW made just to kind of cause a splash.
Mm-hmm.
And it worked.
Mm-hmm.
Don't get me wrong. Like, and that's part of the game and part of the business. Like, I'm not trying to, bash them for it or anything, but like, I don't know if this was really like, it's just not working. It was good for the pop when he first came out, and that was about it.
Especially if he beats Lance Archer. I really hope they don't do Lance like that, man. Lance,
oh my God.
Lance is a future star of the business, a future cornerstone,
100%.
Yeah,
he could be really a champion for sure.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
We finally get that great big Britt Baker promo.
Oh my God.
So essentially, this was to just establish that she's still a heel. She calls the crowd ungrateful because they don't cheer loud enough for her. She goes off on Mick Foley complimenting her on social media, says that it took Mick 20 years to become a hardcore legend. It took her only one night.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah. And
that might be the most badass sentence that Britt Baker has ever uttered. I was like, Jesus, you really are the baddest bitch on the block, Britt Baker. Holy fuck.
She's definitely got the it factor. Like, absolutely. And then she also even echoes a lot of people's sentiments here, saying Tony Khan looking for every has-been legend when he has Britt Baker right under his nose. I was like, there's not really a lie there, If there's one criticism about AEW is they're a little quick to scoop up. I'm not saying that WWE talent shouldn't be allowed to work somewhere, but former WWE guys do get a lot of shine coming in.
Here's my rebuttal to that.
Yeah.
First of all, I don't give a shit. But more importantly, why wouldn't former WWE guys be the best guys that they could have talent-wise? They're going to have the experience of like being on live television more than likely.
Yeah.
A lot of the dudes that they're bringing in, that are top dudes from WWE. It was totally true. John Moxley, look at that. Like, he could have been John Moxley in WWE if they'd have booked him that way. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And, I don't necessarily have a problem with any of that because, like, of course they're the best. WWE was the only place the best could go for 30 years? Well, not that long, 20 years,
Let's see. I'm trying to think of like, have they misused any former WWE guys?
I think people say Miro kind of.
Yeah, I have a feeling though they're going to turn a corner. I am a firm believer this Arcade Anarchy match, whatever, next week. I think Miro comes out, middle finger to everybody involved in that feud. Kip Sabian, Chuck, everybody, and just branches off and goes solo. I'm banking on it.
I hope so, because that was a misstep. I mean, I can't deny that it wasn't very good, but it hasn't been much.
No, I will say this. Okay, so I think my weekly thing is Cody's pushed too hard. I think so. I don't think it's egregious. I don't think it's like horrible, but I do believe it is a huge sign of nepotism. But I will say this: they've also made smart decisions. Remember when they brought in like Zack Ryder? And I was just like, oh God, no. And nobody got excited. And then Zack Ryder was gone, just like that.
Yeah.
They were just because you were in WWE doesn't guarantee you a good spot there.
No, absolutely. I'm just saying that, like, at that level, the talent pool is so small, that it stands to reason that, like, if WWE lets a dude go, like, why wouldn't you want to have him or her,
Right. We get Christian backstage is challenged by former rival Frankie Kazarian. Apparently, I didn't watch TNA back in the day, but apparently these two guys, they used to kill it.
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
I saw a clip on Twitter earlier, I want to say today or last night, and it was from a ladder match between them, and they looked like they had gone through war. Yeah, it was I'm probably in my spare time going to look up at least that one match. Apparently these guys,
Nice.
and I mean, Kazarian referenced it, and so did Christian.
Oh,
Referenced their
okay.
feud. So they're going to have
I
a
heard.
match.
Well, I didn't realize that was like they were referencing a specific feud. They were just like, I remember I think they said WWE, didn't they specifically?
No, I think they were feuding over the TNA title. I think they had a main event feud in TNA for their strap.
Okay, well, fair enough. You probably know better than I do.
I just picked up on it. Like I said, Twitter kind of informed me. But I imagine that there might be some buzz for that, like hardcore TNA and Impact fans.
Yeah,
I bet there's going to be some good buzz over that.
No, for sure.
We get the Pinnacle, their first official match. At least FTR and Sean Spears, they took on the team of Griff Garrison, Brian Pillman Jr., and Dante Martin of Top Flight, who was only 20 years old. God,
yeah, I was
damn,
blown away
man.
by that. Blown away.
They,
Can we just take a moment to talk about fucking Sean Spears' hair? Like, what the fuck is that dude thinking?
it's awesome. I love it, man. That
Are
blonde
you
mohawk.
kidding? Like, I
I'm
mean,
into it, man.
it's laughably bad for me.
Yeah,
Like, it looks like he has like a mohawk and then a mullet on the back, like a mohawk mullet or some shit. And it's just fucking blonde as shit. Dude looks like a toe.
you know, we kind of said the same thing when Cody originally dyed his hair blonde. You know, people were kind of saying the same thing, like, "Oh, he looks stupid blonde." You know, he's obviously got brown hair, and then now it's foreign to see him with dark hair.
I don't know. Maybe it'll grow on me, but I can't. It's hard for me to take him seriously right now.
That hair. Well, I really do think, as much as I love Sean Spears and I'm excited for him to be in like a main event storyline, I really do believe his job is to eat the pins for Pinnacle.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah, I think that's going to be his job, is to take their L's.
Yeah.
I mean, look at that. You got, obviously, they're investing in Wardlow. Like, if you look at everything Wardlow does, they make a big deal out of him.
Mm-hmm.
And although that new finisher he's got is kind of trash. Have you noticed it?
I guess not. I don't know.
Exactly. That's what I mean.
Well, there you go. Maybe it is trash just because it's forgettable.
Well, he gets a guy on the top turnbuckle, right? Like he's gonna do a like one of the Undertaker's little choke slam off the turnbuckle.
Okay.
But instead of choke slamming him, he pulls them forward. They just fall, and then he raises a knee. It's a striking finisher. So there's no strength involved. He just pulls them down and then knees them in the face on the way down. It's not the flashiest thing, let's just say.
No one-winged angel, that's for sure.
Exactly. Pinnacle picks up a quick victory here. I didn't notice any standout points in this match.
This match, I feel like, like I was saying before we started recording, maybe after, I don't remember, whatever. This whole episode felt like a transitional thing. So it was like, this match was good. There was nothing wrong with it. It did what it needed to do. It wasn't overly exciting, but it wasn't all that memorable either, it wasn't bad, but it wasn't memorable. You know what I mean? Like, of course, Brandon Cutler eats the pin.
We're not even talking about Cutler. That's a tag match way later.
Oh, Jesus Christ. I'm sorry. Jesus Christ.
You have Griff Garrison, Brian Pillman Jr., and Dante Martin.
There you go.
Yeah. No, you're
sorry. I got confused.
You're thinking of the Lucha Bros.
Yes. Spoilers.
Brandon Cutler eats the pin.
Yeah. So never mind. I got confused. But no, I mean, the point still stands is that, good match. I didn't really care because the outcome was kind of, whatever. And it was
it's the classic trope. When you have a new star or a new monster, you give them enhancement talent for a match or two to establish their dominance,
Yep. That's what I mean. It was I get it. It makes sense. I'm glad it happened, but I don't give a shit,
Yeah.
Basically.
Yeah. Afterwards, FTR calls out Santana and Ortiz of the Inner Circle, and MJF calls Chris Jericho pretty much fat.
Yes.
MJF is definitely leaning into the body shaming. It's just like right after Twitter comes to Jericho's defense about all the body shaming he received online.
Oh my god.
AEW
NBA
just
Twitter
doubles
killed
down
him.
into like yeah. Tony Schiavone stands up for Inner Circle when Pinnacle tries to call them out to the ring, saying they're still hurt. So they punk Tony Schiavone out, and that's theirs. And we go from one faction promo right into another faction promo, which I found kind of weird. Team Taz.
AEW loosey goosey indie booking. That
Yeah. Now, let's group all the factions segments together.
Yep.
Yeah. So Team Taz comes out. They just have a pre-tape promo where Taz states, "There's no dissension, no issues with Team Taz. Brian Cage has apologized to all of us, and more importantly, he apologized to Ricky Starks for singling him out. The whole while, Cage is kind of like just scoffing, like
Yep. That ain't true, bro.
Yeah,
basically.
I don't know, man. I don't know. It did dawn on me recently though that I feel for Taz really trying to do something with that FTW title, and just Tony was like, "Listen, I'll let you have it on TV.
Basically.
I'm not gonna do anything with it. If you want to wear it around, you can have it on television."
Yeah, nobody gives a shit about it. Literally, nobody gives a shit
about that belt. I wanted to, man. But
so did I, because I love Taz. Honestly, I want to love Team Taz, but what the fuck is going on there?
Man.
Like, what is going on there?
They are dangerously close to Dark and Dark Elevation, which I think they're already on it. You know what I mean? I want to say they're probably already on it.
I want to say break that faction up and especially because what the fuck does Ricky Starks? Why does he even need a mouthpiece?
Breakout star Ricky Starks, Will Hobbs, freaking breakout. Brian Cage, breakout. It's once again, like I said, you just got too many talented people for a 2 hours a week worth of content. It sucks,
right,
man.
You're right. You're right.
Yeah. And then we go from talking about how about all these talented people have TV time into a segment with fucking QT Marshall.
This was the low light for me. This whole segment. Dude. This was, well, you know what? Here's the thing. QT Marshall's part was serviceable. Like, it wasn't like, it made sense. I could, as soon as Cody came out, I was like, it lost me. It lost me so bad. And that's crazy to think about, because like Cody is so good at, promos and shit. He's like maybe one of the best, babyface promos. And this was just not it.
I think this is my theory. My theory is QT Marshall seems like a decent guy. Good looking fella. He's okay in the ring. I think this is in my mind how it's coming up. Is I could be overthinking this. I probably am. But QT's probably realizing, like, look, nothing's happening for me. I'm getting zero traction with people. I'm getting no social media buzz. You know what I mean? Everything that he stated in the promo, I'm Cody's friend. I get his coffee for him, all that bullshit. All true. That is the perception. Give me a fair shake. Give me a chance to cut a promo, to get to do a feud. Just give me a chance. Cody, being his friend, was like, okay, I'll go ahead. We'll run an experiment with you, see if we can get any buzz. It's not gonna happen, man. He's bland white bread. It's one thing to look like the everyman guy, but then it's one to really look like Dean Ambrose kind of looks like an everyman guy, but at the same time has like an it factor. Like he looks normal, but there's also something about him. QT normal. That's what we'll call him. Yeah, QT Marshall looks like a normal guy. You would, if I walked into that guy, I'd be like, he would be forgettable. Like if that man came into my store, bought something from me and left, Nothing about him is memorable, and I hate it. I don't like to be mean. I really don't.
I hear you though.
Oh God, man. I hope something. I hope something happens. I always wish for the best for everybody. How about that?
I hear you though. He's like the caricature of every man.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying? And like, this was not for nothing though. This was probably the best promo he's ever done.
It's like the only one he's ever done.
Well, there you go. Then maybe it's the worst one he's done too. But like,
by default, right?
Yeah. But like, I mean, seriously, like I said before, you started talking. Like, absolutely, he was better than Cody in this segment.
Yeah, he pretty much just he goes off about he's tired of the perception of. For the folks that are not watching the video, I'm grabbing beer out of my mini fridge. He goes off about he's tired of the perception we just mentioned. He's nepotism incarnate. He's Cody's friend. That's why he's got a job. So he wants an exhibition match with Cody, because he's tired of, he works harder than everybody. When Dynamite wraps up, Cody gets to go home, sleep with his wife, while QT Marshall's wife is in the crowd. My wife sleeps alone. And so he's like, I just want an exhibition. I want a chance to prove myself against Cody Rhodes, who then comes out from his it's always weird when Cody comes out like unannounced, and he's got his headset because he's the producer and stuff. It's always like an awkward thing. Remember when he was doing that with Taz? But I'm
not a fan of it, generally speaking. Honestly, I don't really like it.
No, I think it's a little too on the nose. But Cody says, "Yeah, we'll have an exhibition, to make sure it's all fair. Nightmare Family, Arn Anderson will be the guest referee." But then he goes on this weird, like I said, Cody, this weird, like I'm a good guy, not a heel. He's like, I'm not gonna hurt you though. If I put you in the figure four, I'm gonna let it go. If I put you in the crossroads, I'm not gonna follow through with it. It's like, dude, that's what you say when you pity somebody, and that's not like a face thing to say.
Yeah, I was so confused by that. It made zero sense. I was like, bro, if you don't want to, why are you going to bother even having the match?
Right before he even said that, he said, I'm going to go out there with the intention to win. Then, like, how do you win if you don't try to put your opponent away?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like what do you just go, well, you would have tapped out.
Yeah.
Or you would have.
So I suspect what it's going to be is Cody's obviously going to have opportunities to beat QT Marshall. And then one of two things, if not both of them, is going to happen. He's going to be like, QT, just call it here. Look, I had you. I would have beat you. And then B, QT Marshall is going to realize that Cody's not doing these things, and he's going to try to like undermine him, like undercut him, take advantage of it. Kind of like when Shawn Michaels at WrestleMania refused to super kick Ric Flair. So Ric Flair wrapped him up in the figure four. I think they're going to try to do something along those lines. But like I said, at the end of the day, I just can't get into QT normal. I just can't do it, man.
QT normal. No, I hear you.
Yeah.
And it like you said, I feel kind of bad because he seems like a really likable dude. Yeah. But it's just like, bro, you ain't it. I'm sorry. Oh, man. I don't know.
Yeah, it's just weird. That led us to the match that you spoiled for us earlier. Returning Laredo Kid and the Lucha Bros taking on the Young Bucks and Brandon Cutler. Dude, if Brandon Cutler doesn't blend into the Young Bucks style so seamless.
Oh yeah, it was cool. I like that a lot.
Yeah, he easily looks very at home with the exception of like one or two moves here and there, but with the Young Bucks.
He looked like he belonged in that match.
Well, no, there was a couple spots like they tried to do like the assisted Meltzer driver where he was supposed to lift, I think, Nick Jackson over him, and he got like Nick Jackson barely like 2 feet off the ground.
Yeah, I hear you. There was a couple of little things like that, but what I'm saying is for the most part, dude looked like he belonged in that match.
Oh yeah,
that is so good for him. I mean, that was what surprised me the most about the match was how good Brandon Cutler did, honestly.
Well, he closely circles that QT normal spot, you know. But
Wait, oh my god, he's so much better than QT normal,
he does have his own thing going. It's hard to picture him ever moving up the card.
I don't think so, but I think he's a good jobber.
If they ever do a trios title, I could see him winning a trios title
with the Bucks.
With the Bucks, you know.
Yeah, I could too. Yeah.
I could see that for sure. But no, they had the Flipsy match. This is the match that, you know, all the Cornette fans, you know, are gonna shit on because there's too many high spots and choreographed stuff. Whatever, man. It's a variety show. I like this stuff.
Hey, I don't like. Listen, the other thing is too is that people are always, you know, it takes me out of it. I don't. I can't suspend the belief, and I'm like, bro, the Undertaker like literally teleported for 30 years.
Lightning powers.
The Fiend is a fucking zombie right now. And you're telling me that like you're like, well, he did a flip and it didn't look like it hurt that much when he went through the table and you didn't sell it enough.
Yeah.
You know, what the fuck are you even talking about, you douchebag?
I think every match should be slow and lumbering. You know?
Back in my day,
consist of 70% talking, 30% moves.
Yeah, back in my day, we had rest holds that lasted 10 minutes. And we loved it. You know, like what the fuck?
Oh, fuck D-Rod. Anyways,
Jesus Christ, I wasn't gonna go that far.
No, I'm just.
Hey,
I love D-Rod. I love to give him shit. After the match, okay, so obviously, yeah, the Lucha Bros and Laredo Kid got the pin on Brandon Cutler. Afterwards, Kenny Omega comes out, starts destroying Laredo Kid, and goes off on this. It's hilarious. Goes off on this promo, telling the Bucks that he remembers what they did 3 years ago. But then, like, mid talking to them, and he's like, "I remember you from AAA too, Laredo," and then just starts beating the piss out of him some more. And just like this psychopath. I loved it.
Kenny Omega's killing it right now. I love it.
Man,
Holy shit.
Love the guy. He essentially just tells him, like, look, 3 years ago, I didn't choose AEW. I didn't choose to, you know, this company. I chose you guys. I chose this path with you. You're out here choosing fucking Brandon Cutler. You know? And
what did he say? He said the high school jock, the starting quarterback, or the nerd, and you chose the nerd.
Yeah, exactly. The D&D nerd, which I mean, Cutler on record is a huge one. I mean, hell, he comes out with fucking dice.
The tag team that he was in Peter Avalon with was called the Initiative, and they came out and they literally rolled a 20-sided die. Like you were just saying, every time they came out. It was part of their entrance.
God bless Dark, though, in their like willingness to try anything and everything.
I thought it was hilarious. I mean,
it was. I loved the whole feud with Peter Avalon. The feud of who would get their first victory. Yes. They were both winless for like an entire year.
Yeah.
Anyways, Kenny Omega tells them, you know, at this point, you know, this is it. This is your last chance. Are you with me? The Bucks end up walking off on him. Afterwards, thank God some logic dictated this. This was plenty of time for the Lucha Bros to recover. They come in. They lay out Omega, who hilariously gives, in the pictures in the stream on the YouTube version, you can see it, like a drunken thumbs up after the Good Brothers help him to his feet.
That was really good. He kind of like, I know that he does that Terminator stuff. It was that I maybe it was that, you know, like at the end of Terminator, he gives the thumbs up, you know. I don't know. Maybe I'm reading into that a little too much. Either way, it was fucking really good spot. It was hilarious.
Yeah, man. He can't do no wrong. By the way, I will say this. Probably the biggest thing that you personally are missing on not watching Being the Elite every Monday is all of the just uncensored hardcore sex talk that the Good Brothers do.
What?
They are way over. Like, okay, so for one, on Being the Elite, this last Monday, they recently lost and lost their their tag team belts and shit. And so Carl Anderson says Luke Gallows.
Match, by the way.
Yeah, Luke Gallows is exhausted. He's always tired. He's Sleepy Luke or whatever. And he's like, it's because you jerk off 6 times a day. And so Luke Gallows right now is not allowed to jerk off for like a week. And he's like, that's like 50 comes, man. Like, it's 50 just, yes.
Oh my God! Speaking of shit like that,
they couldn't get through the segment. Like Luke Gallows would just start jerking it while talking to him. It's so fucking absurd.
Oh my God!
It's so absurd. It's I don't know why. Maybe it's the middle schooler in me that never grew up. It's like my favorite part of Being the Elite. I'm not gonna lie. It's so over the top and stupid, but I love every second of it.
Yeah. Yo. So speaking of shit like that. On Impact on Tuesday night, Don Callis and Kenny Omega were there, and they just cut a promo basically, because Kenny Omega is going to wrestle Rich Swann next month.
Oh man, I hope he gets that belt.
Right. But Don Callis is saying like how he just built like Impact, and now he wants to use it to just put over Kenny basically. And he's like, and I'm just gonna suck all the talent, all these people, and I'm just gonna keep sucking. And then Kenny in the background goes, suck them, Don. And I fucking lost it completely. It was so funny.
Oh man. Oh my God. I love everything about it. I know a lot of people are criticizing, like one of the criticisms about this is Impact is looking super weak. Losing, but it's like, dude, they'll be fine. They'll be fine.
Yeah.
And does anybody think Impact is the powerhouse promotion compared to New Japan, Dynamite, and WWE? No, you gotta let them lose their belts, and then you know what'll happen? They'll win them back. They'll win them back.
Exactly.
It's okay.
In order for the underdog to look like an underdog, they have to lose first.
Yeah, exactly. How silly would it be if New Japan and AEW start this interpromotional thing with Impact, but then just start getting shut down right out the gate? Like, no. Let them come in and be the cocks of the walk, win some shit, and then you build up, this talent. Obviously, the entire roster will come out looking like nothing but huge baby faces. Yeah, taking on these new juggernauts and tyrants of the wrestling industry, man. Yeah,
absolutely. Yeah.
Next up, Jade Cargill says Red Velvet is just a pit stop on her path to greatness, and you know what? This got me thinking. I absolutely agree.
Yes.
I just got thinking about how like pro wrestling is not something where tenure necessarily makes the person. I don't know much about Red Velvet. I imagine she's probably had somewhat of a decent career, especially to be put in the spot to break in Jade Cargill, who is greener than baby shit. Looks like they're gonna
strap her rocket to her, you know.
Could you imagine though, like honing your craft for years, and then this person comes out, has like 2 matches, and they're instantly like superstar status, and they achieve what you've been working years for in a matter of a couple months, like.
Ask Britt Baker how it feels, or Mick Foley,
Yeah. Good one. And I don't mean to knock Red Velvet, but I just imagine that's something where that really probably checks your ego. Like you probably have to be a really down to earth person to be okay. Be like, you know what? I'm okay with that. I'm going to help this person achieve their incredible potential.
Oh well, yeah, I hear you, but I mean. To me, it's like with any athletic endeavor, it's kind of part of it is, what your God-given talent is. You can't dictate that,
Yeah.
So, look at dudes that go on to play in the NFL. Sometimes all they're going to do is just help people be better too, unfortunately, for them. So it's
backup quarterback, second string, third string people. No, you're absolutely right. Yeah. Got a preview of Road to the Top, the new, essentially Ms. and Mrs. for TNT.
Who gives a shit?
Man, I don't.
Not me.
I love me and Jess go on record, dude. We love Ms. and Mrs. Like I think, and it's because of the Miz and actually Maurice too. I think Maurice's personality is magnetic. I don't know how much I'd really be into Cody Rhodes and Brandy though. Like I don't know. Like I'll watch it. I'll give it a shot. Me and Jess will have like a glass of wine and probably watch it. But the only thing that was cool to me was I saw Cody Rhodes with some frat bros like taking shots, and I was like, okay, yeah, I can relate.
Yeah, I don't know. Whatever. It makes sense. You know, they're like if they were gonna do a reality show with anybody that was in AEW, they're the couple to do it with. You know,
sure? I don't know, man. Hold on, think about this. Let's think.
Kip Sabian and Penelope Ford.
Well, no, you do like a gaming. That'd be like Twitch, or you do like a game show with that.
Well, I'm just throwing out other.
Just throwing out,
there.
Yeah.
I'm
trying to think. I don't know, man. I would do one with Miro if he's not going to be like superstardom. Dude, I bet him and Lana are hilarious.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Just the way they like interact on like social media and shit together sometimes. Yeah, I would actually probably watch that show myself.
That's the one I'd be wanting to see.
Yeah.
You mean Miro and Lana's reality show? I'd be so into that shit because they were on I want to say they were on like Total Divas or Total Bellas.
Probably.
Yeah, because I do remember seeing something like Miro was doing his yard work in a fucking Speedo.
Of course he was.
Yeah, and it was gold. So they've already been on reality TV through that. I could see their own thing.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
John Moxley and Eddie Kingston. Kingston, of course, with the broken something. Broken something. I forget how they referred to it. I don't think they said like
fibia. I don't remember. It was something like that.
Yeah. Mox tells the Bucks, he says, I'm not a fan of the Bucks. I don't like them, but I appreciate what they did. So Bucks, you better be ready to get your hands dirty. Meaning, you better put your money where your mouth is. Don't just come out and separate. Are you ready to put your hands on the Good Brothers and Kenny Omega in this war? Are you ready to pick that side?
Yep.
That'll be interesting to see how that goes.
I think they are.
I think so too. I just wanted to see I didn't want to see the Bucks turn on him. I wanted to see fucking Gorillas of Destiny. I wanted to see New Japan Bullet Club come and smash everybody. But if we're just gonna get the super elite imploding, whatever, it's all good.
Yeah,
it's all good. Ty Conti, here we go, picking up a win, beating Nyla Rose.
Dope.
Who saw that coming? Holy shit, man.
Ty Conti is like one of right now probably my favorite underrated wrestler.
Yeah.
I mean, and now like the moment I say that, like she's like, the number one contender apparently or whatever. But like, seriously, like the last 2 or 3 matches that she's been in AEW have been fire. She's just like, it just feels like she's like finally hitting her stride. She's know what I'm saying? She's a legit
athlete and martial artist. I think she.
Yeah.
I want to say it's judo that she does.
Yeah, I think you're right.
She's a judoku.
Yeah.
No, man, you saw it on display in the match too. She was throwing Nyla around in there. Had a lot of cool submissions. Picked up the win with a DDT, emotion all over the face. I was into it. This unfortunately was ruined for me since I watched it a day late. I did see it coming. I know. Same thing with the main event too. Those two got spoiled for me.
That sucks.
Yeah. But,
although the main event probably wasn't nearly as surprising.
It's just fire. Yeah, I never expected John Silver to win.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's awesome, man, and I'm happy. And you know what? I will say this, man, way to utilize Nyla Rose, having these, not necessarily losing frequently, but shock upsets like this could definitely light a fire. Like use her to light a fire in the women's division. Because anytime you overcome like a beast like that,
Yeah, because you're right. Like look at what beating Nyla Rose did for Riho. Like that was nuts. Nobody thought she could ever win a match ever, and then she goes out and beats the biggest woman on the division. You're in the division, like, and Tay Conti obviously is not a very big woman either, so like,
yeah, no, she's not even as big as Shida. Speaking of Shida, Yeah, Nyla Rose attacks Tay Conti. By the way, they did book the pinning right too. Nyla Rose actually kicked out just after 3, and I've always liked those little details. They're not fully out. You just held them just long enough. Nyla Rose attacks Tay Conti after the match. Out comes Sheeta for the save, followed by Bunny, and then Matt Hardy's whole faction. He's just trying to scoop up essentially every mid-card heel available for this Matt Hardy brand. I forget what they called it. They called it like head of household or something. I don't know. Something weird. Matt hops on the mic briefly talking about how the women's tournament was like a joke because Bunny wasn't in it, which kind of elevates Bunny's status too as well. But yeah, so now this title picture is all of a sudden got 4 women in it. You got Nyla Rose, you got Tay Conti, Sheeta, and Bunny. I don't know if that's going to lead to a 4-way match or if that's just setting up for a tag match. But we have a nice
Didn't they announce a tag match with the 4 of them?
When they start going off about next week's matches, I actually kind of tune out. I should probably write it down to include the show, but usually I tune out. Yeah.
I couldn't remember, honestly.
But it probably is. I mean, all logic, pro wrestling logic dictates it's a tag match.
Yeah.
2 faces, 2 heels, you know?
Yeah, it's easy. Yeah. And I'd take it, you know? Hell.
I genuinely forgot about Miro and Kip Sabian having this match against Chuck Taylor and Orange Cassidy.
So did I.
Yeah.
That's how invested I hear you. That's like how invested I am in that story. Like, and it's too bad too, because like there's so much good talent in this storyline, you know?
Look at how the live crowd reacts to Orange Cassidy.
Oh yeah.
And then now look where he is currently. It is,
oh yeah.
You know, obviously the dude couldn't hang around the main title and TNT title forever, but really to be in a match that I think widely panned, like not many people, if anybody, are really into it. Yeah, like I said, I'm hoping this is a vehicle to build Miro. I hope this vehicle is Miro gets through this match, follows through where he truly means I don't care about anybody, you know, and breaks off from Kip Sabian and starts the singles push.
That doesn't even work for me really anymore. Like at first I was like, we'll see how this plays out. And I'm like, nah. I mean, and it's not even like I like Kip Sabian all right too. Don't get me wrong. It's just like they don't work together for whatever reason, you know? It just doesn't, it feels so forced. So disingenuous.
It's one of those things where you could be friends off screen, but that doesn't really translate to on screen chemistry.
Yeah, exactly.
And I bet that's all that is. Katie corrected. She says the Matt Hardy Empire. God, I love having Katie in the chat, man.
Yeah.
It makes my life so much better.
She's good.
Scorpio Sky reveals he has a match with Mike Seidel on Dark Elevation, and I feel bad because Scorpio Sky deserves so much more.
Yeah.
And then we get the main event, and what a main event it was. Darby Allin taking on John Silver.
Yes.
I'm split, Kev. I'm split with this, man.
Are you?
Yes. There are things I love about this, and then there are things that play into what I really don't like about the current TNT scene. So the match is fantastic. I mean, it's a incredible match. Both guys super talented.
These are the 2 dudes that should be fighting over a mid-card title too, as far as I'm concerned. It's perfect for both of them.
And I'm ready for John Silver to win it too. My mic went out for a second.
Oh, we'll fix it, or I'm getting a lawyer.
I mean, so the match is great. Darby Allin. This is a classic Darby Allin match where he takes a ton of his opponent's offense and mounts a comeback. We get spots. Silver goes over the barricade, appears to hurt his shoulder. 5 interjects and takes a dive from Darby Allin to save Silver. At this point, it prompts Sting to come out with his baseball bat to even the odds against the Dark Order. You got Silver countering the stunner into the Queenslayer Anna Jay's move, which is a nice homage to their friendship and then obviously their faction. A ton of false finishes. Darby Allin hits a coffee drop on the Dark Order on the outside.
That was a scary spot.
Oh, it's always scary.
Yeah, but Jesus
always
Christ, man.
terrifying.
Mm-hmm.
And then it sees finally it shows an homage to Brody Lee. John Silver goes for the power bomb, gets countered into the what's it called? The Code Red.
There you go. Yes.
Code Red, and loses by pin afterwards. Show of respect between the two competitors, and then a huge brawl pops out because Matt Hardy comes out, and of course his whole thing about wanting to take out the Dark Order. We get a huge brawl to sign off AEW.
Even Anna Jay and Bunny were fighting in that brawl.
Ty Conti.
Or yeah,
Anna Jay's injured.
And my bad.
Yeah.
I didn't mean to. My insider report did not. My sources haven't said anything about that.
It's okay. We can't all have a Katie in the chat,
Yeah.
So obviously the guy's a killer in the ring, but I already went off earlier about the stuff I don't like about Sting. This is where I don't like how Sting was used. Another thing though that gets me, I love Darby Allin. His whole shtick is he gets his ass beat like for 80 to 90% of the match and then just pulls a win out his ass. And eventually for me, it's his matches. Like I said, his style is really cool because he has those Jeff Hardy scary high spots and you love them. But I don't know, man. Like, I don't know. I guess like I'm cooling on Darby a little bit, and I don't know. I don't know if it's just because of like it's just the same match like over and over. Like he just gets the shit kicked out of him, and then coffin drop, reversal, pin. He's your champ.
Yeah,
and it's weird because I feel like that's really cool for an underdog, but for a fighting, defending, champ, I don't know if that's really like that style like lends itself too well.
Right.
I kind of my taste. I kind of want a more dominant champ, whether it's a face or a heel. I kind of want a guy that I believe could repeatedly defend that. Like Darby Allin should be kind of like a Rey Mysterio. Like it's so hard for him to get to the belt. He gets it, and then a big heel comes in shortly after and takes it. But
I think everybody thought that was going to happen with Brian Cage.
Yeah,
honestly, and then that was kind of when it really started to be Darby Allin gets his ass kicked for 80% of the match and then wins.
Yeah,
but it worked with Brian Cage. Honestly, I hear you, but like it doesn't work as well when you're wrestling somebody like John Silver who isn't that much bigger than you are.
No.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I don't know, like just seeing an underdog as a dominant champ has to be done a certain way.
Yeah.
Like Bayley, look at Bayley. It didn't work when she was the hugger. She had to chase that belt, But now when she was a heel and retained that belt by any means necessary, that was more believable and rich. So I don't know, man. Like I said, it's kind of weird. The TNT title picture to me is just weird. I feel like it could be better.
I hear you. It was better when Cody had the championship and when Brody Lee had it. I think if they use it in those kinds of ways to really, open challenges, things of that nature. I mean, Darby Allin should be defending that belt most weeks on Dynamite. I understand why he took a week off or whatever after that street fight and stuff. That made sense to me. But he should be out there. Like I said, most Dynamites defending the championship against all sorts of different, dudes.
And I think the way that he loses it is I think they just need to lean fully into it and let him get squashed. Let someone come out.
Yeah.
Because at that point, you could build like storyline wise, like, oh shit, there's a ton of tape on Darby now.
Yeah.
Look, this is how he wins.
Or
Everybody gets ahead, and then they open themselves up to a counter. What if
Right.
we never give him that counter option?
Or it's just, he's had like 10 matches in 10 weeks, and he's just, the story is that he's just finally just wore out. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Either way, I get what they're doing now too, because he did say that he won it back in like October, November, and he had only defended it 3 times. So now they are going out of their way to make him defend it more. But
so Katie literally just said that in the chat, actually.
Oh, nice. but like I said, to me, his in-ring style and his persona, everything about him screams underdog.
Oh,
but
yeah.
he's being booked like a dominant champ, kind of. And it's a weird mix for me, personally speaking.
No, I want to see him defend it more. That's all.
Yeah.
I think that a mid-card belt should be on your TV show being defended most of the time.
Blowout Man says, aloha, Kevin Crazy.
Yo.
And aloha, Kyle. What's going on, Blowout? Katie says, you could do a multi-man match scenario. That way he doesn't have to eat or pin or anything. Yeah,
that's true.
But I mean, give it to someone like, give it to like Brian Cage. Give it to Will Hobbs. Give it to like one of these monsters,
That would be cool.
Hell, dude, Brian Cage, like his in-ring style is so entertaining. It's criminal we don't see that guy killing it, week in and week out. It's criminal.
Well, Ricky Sanchez too. Really,
Ricky Starks,
honestly.
yeah.
Or Ricky Sanchez.
Ricky Starks, because he would play the heel, the guy that could get beat, but just squeaks out wins here and there, and it works for him.
Yeah.
Being a babyface just doesn't. I don't know, man. It doesn't work like that for me. Because like the way Darby wins is how you book an underdog who just gets the belt by the skin of their teeth, but retaining it by the skin of their teeth every match just feels weird to me. But now I'm circling. Like I'm just saying the same shit.
Yeah, so stop it.
I'm sorry. Anyways, you guys, thank you all for showing up. Hey, if you like the show, please click like, subscribe, all that fun stuff. Maybe head on over to patreon.com/SmackDrawPodcast. We got stickers, t-shirts, a whole bunch of fun stuff there. Unpopular Opinions comes out Saturday, 9 a.m. Eastern time in the morning, because we got some boys from the UK joining me. You can go over to Patreon. Go ahead.
Get in the house.
Subscribe, and we'll get your video Unpopular Opinion on the show.
Okay, in the house.
We don't have anything coming up this weekend, do we? Right? There's no like pay-per-view or nothing this weekend, right?
I don't think so. I think SmackDown tomorrow is it for the week.
Okay, cool.
But then next week is WrestleMania week, isn't it? Or is it 2 weeks?
No, that's not next week. That's the week after. 2 weeks.
Okay.
Yeah, 2 weeks.
I couldn't. Okay.
Yep. Anyways, yeah, once again, you guys, thank you all for showing up. And like always, until next time, y'all have a good one.
Deuces.